Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm really glad you're here today. Thank you for tuning in and for being so patient with me. I've been having a bit of a difficult time, but I'm really thankful to everyone who has been so supportive and kind. Just so you know, I did start an Instagram account. I'm really not a big Instagram person, so I don't post all that much, but I posted some and I've really enjoyed getting to talk to some of you. So if you want to follow me on Instagram, it's at Blue Eyes ASMR. I'll try to put a link in the bottom so you can just click on it and see and follow and leave me a message or comment or something. I really love that. So yeah, today I am going to be teaching you some facts about Missouri. It is my home state. It's where I was born and where I currently live, where I grew up, and where I work now. This year is actually the 200th anniversary of Missouri's statehood in the United States, and I just thought it'd be kind of an interesting way for me to learn more about Missouri and also teach people. I know I have viewers from all around the world, so I haven't seen one exactly like this done, so I thought it was a little bit interesting, and hopefully you all enjoy it. If you've never been to Missouri or don't know anything about it, hopefully you learned something and enjoy the video. Thanks again for tuning in, and let's get started. Okay, so first I wanted to give a little bit of background about Missouri, my home state. It is a state in the Midwestern region of the United States of America, and it has basically two major cities. It has St. Louis and it has Kansas City, both on opposite sides of the state. It's pretty much smack dab in the middle of the United States, and it is a beautiful state. We have rivers and hilly areas and all kinds of beautiful scenery. I love Missouri, but I didn't always love it when I was little. I wanted to leave desperately, so I actually ended up going to college in a different state, and I also did my first year of law school in a different state. So, but I'm back and I love it. I plan to make Missouri home for the foreseeable future. Okay, let's get into our facts. So fact number 1 is that Missouri is the 18th most populous and the 21st largest of the 50 states of the United States. The state attained statehood 100 years ago on August 10th, 1821, and it became the 24th state to join the Union. This is something we had to learn in school, but the next fact is that Missouri shares its border with 8 states, and the states are Nebraska, Oklahoma, Tennessee, Arkansas, Illinois, Iowa, Kansas, and Kentucky. 8 states. And Missouri is divided into 114 geographic areas called counties. Our state's capital is Jefferson City, and it's right in the middle of Missouri. And the postal abbreviation for Missouri are the letters M-O. So let's go on. Okay, the next fact is that human settlement has been recorded in the region for at least 12,000 years, meaning people may have been in the area for much longer, but we have recordings. We have evidence that indigenous people have been in Missouri for more than 12,000 years. The next fact is that between December 16th, 1811 and April 1812, over 2,000 earthquake tremors occurred in Missouri, including 3 of the strongest earthquakes in U.S. history, which hit the small town of New Madrid, Missouri. This earthquake caused what is called a fluvial tsunami in the Mississippi River, which caused it to run backwards for several hours. Isn't that wild? The next fact number 3, I'm not actually sure if it's fact number 3, but I'm going to say it's fact number 3, is that the name of Missouri's nickname is the Show Me State. And this came into being because of an 1899 speech by a congressman in Philadelphia. He said, "For thy eloquence neither convinces nor satisfies me. I'm from Missouri. You've got to show me." So I guess that means Missourians like things to be proven to us. Next fact is that Missouri continues to be, and once was, an important hub for transportation and commerce in the United States. That's because we have two major rivers, and we have the confluence of those two major rivers, the Missouri River and the Mississippi River, in our state. Okay, next is Europeans first set foot in Missouri in 1673. There were two Frenchmen, Father Jacques Marquette and Louis Joliet, and they were traveling down the Mississippi River. Next fact is that Missouri has the largest beer-producing plant in the country, as it houses the maker of Budweiser beer, Anheuser-Busch. I know a lot of people go to the brewery in St. Louis. It's really large, and I hear you get free beer. So I know a lot of people have gone. I've never gone, but I'd love to one day. All right, let's see. Okay, next fact is that Mark Twain, who is a world-famous influential writer, he's also very controversial. He was born in Missouri, in Hannibal, Missouri, in 1835. Next, Missouri is named after the Missouri River, which was named after the indigenous Missouri Native tribe. The Missouri River is the longest river in the United States. Okay. Next fact is that the University of Missouri was the first college in the world to grant a journalism degree. It opened on September 14th, 1908, and is still thought of as one of the best journalism schools in the world. They have a Missouri method, which is still a gold standard for journalism across the country that is taught all over the world. Okay, this is one of my favorite ones. Ice cream cones were invented in Missouri. Do you have ice cream cones where you are? I think that they've had them everywhere I've ever been in the world, but let me know if you don't have ice cream cones. But basically it's just like a doughy holder of ice cream. It was invented in St. Louis at the World's Fair in 1904 when an ice cream vendor ran out of cups to supply ice cream. The vendor asked a waffle vendor to roll waffles to supply the ice cream, and hence the birth of the waffle cone, the ice cream cone, took place. All right. Next is the first parachute jump from a plane was made in St. Louis on March 1st, 1912. Fact number, it says 21, but I don't know. I kind of skipped around, I'm sorry. I don't have the order. Harry S. Truman, who was the 33rd president of the United States, was the only president of the United States born in Missouri. Independence, Missouri, the town where President Harry S. Truman grew up, holds the history of the Church of the Latter-day Saints, colloquially known as the Mormons. Visitors come to Independence from all over the world to learn about the regional importance of Missouri during the 19th century. Okay, next fact is that Kansas City, Missouri is home to more than 200 fountains. The city is second only to Rome in the total number of fountains. It's nicknamed the City of Fountains. Okay, let's see. Big Springs, Missouri is one of the largest natural springs in the U.S. and in the world. The spring has an average flow of 470 cubic feet of water per second. Next fact is one of my favorites. Missouri has the country's tallest monument, the Gateway Arch. Have you seen it? If you haven't seen it, Google it. It's really cool. I've been up in it. Most people don't know that you can actually ride up in there. They have little trams that go up and there's little windows at the top. It's really cool. I've done it several times. But it is 630 feet high and 630 feet wide at the base. It was completed on October 28, 1965, and is known as the Gateway to the West. This architectural marvel provides a perfect vantage point to view up to 30 miles of the landscape from every direction. The structure was designed to withstand earthquakes and can sway up to 18 inches Can you imagine being 630 feet high and the arch is swaying? I felt it sway just a tiny, tiny, tiny bit, but I don't think I would go up there if it was really too windy. I'm kind of a scaredy cat when it comes to heights. Okay, let's go to the next kind of facts here. Next is, I have 5 more facts for you. Missouri, along with Illinois and Indiana, witnessed the deadliest tornado in U.S. history, the Tri-State Tornado. The tornado killed 695 people, which is more than twice as many as the second deadliest in U.S. history. Okay, next fact is that this is really interesting. I hear people talk about this, so I'm interested to hear what you have to say. To appeal to as many voters as possible, politicians sometimes pronounce Missouri 2 different ways, Missouri and Missouri, in the same speech. At one time, pronunciation correlated with geography, and the Missouri sound was more prevalent in rural areas. Now it's really more of a generational difference, says this website. I hear both. I hear Missouri and I hear Missouri. Everyone I know says Missouri where I live, but I know a lot of people say Missouri, especially in southern parts of the state. Let's see. Next, Missouri is also known as the Cave State. We have more than 6,000 known caves. Some of the most famous includes Merrimack Caverns, where known 19th century criminal Jesse James hid out. Cool. Richland, Missouri is the only city in the U.S. with a cave restaurant. Okay, I didn't know that. I really want to go to a cave restaurant now. Okay, let's see here. I'm trying to find a good one that I like. Oh, this is cool. Okay. Missouri is one of 12 states with its own official horse. The Missouri Fox Trotter is a mid-sized muscular breed from the Missouri Ozarks. It's popular on ranches. Okay, and last but not least, St. Louis, Missouri hosted the 1904 Summer Olympics. It was the first Olympic Games ever held in the United States at the same time as the 1904 World's Fair that I mentioned, where they invented the ice cream cone. It was complete chaos, apparently. Athletes competed for 4.5 months with one event each day of the fair, but only 42 of the 91 events actually included competitors from other countries. The craziest part, however, was the marathon. Almost half the runners got heat stroke, and the first place winner cheated by hitching a car ride from mile 9 to mile 19. Something that a lot of people don't know about Missouri is that our weather is actually it fluctuates throughout the year. In the winter, it can get below 0 Fahrenheit. It can get up to -15. And then in the summer, we can go well over 100. There are many hot summer days in Missouri where it's over 110. So we see it all, which is great. One thing I really like about it right now, we're entering the fall season and the leaves are just starting to change. So yeah, those were all my interesting facts about Missouri. I really hope you enjoyed them, and thank you so much for watching. If you've ever been to Missouri or want to come visit, I would love to hear about it in the comments below. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.